Have you ever had night terrors? Do you see the movements of beings out the corner of your eyes? Have you ever spoken words and minutes later it happened? Are you looking for answers? Then seek them here. Creative Inspiration Radio is now on with your host, Alonda Vidarjon.
Hello, and welcome to this edition of Creative Inspirations Radio, also known as Creative iRadio. I'm your host, the Reverend Alonda Vidarjon, and on this episode, I will be talking about invocation as a form of possession. Today's episode is brought to us again by our friends at daymuse.com. If you have questions about the occult, tarot, necromancy, or the paranormal, you'll find your answers at daymuse.com. Now, an invocation actually comes from the word invocare, it's Latin, meaning to call on, invoke, or to give. It may come in four types of forms: supplication, prayer or spells, a form of possession, a command or conjuration, and self-identification with certain spirits. We will be talking about each of these in turn, and in this particular episode we're going to discuss a form of possession. The word possession is used here in its neutral form, meaning a state, potentially psychological, in which the individual's normal personality is replaced by another's. This is also sometimes known as aspecting. This can be done as a means of communication with or getting closer to a deity, a spirit, or the dead. As such, need be not viewed simultaneously with demonic possession, as is very popularized by Hollywood. In some religious traditions, such as Christianity, paganism, shamanism, and Wicca, invocation means to draw a spirit or spirit force into one's own body, and is differentiated from evocation, which means asking a spirit or force to become present at a given location. Possessive invocation may be attempted singularly, or, as is often the case in Wicca, in pairs with one or more persons doing the invocation, reciting the liturgy or prayers and acting as an anchor. And the other person present is the one being invoked, allowing themselves to become the vessel for the spirit or deity. The person successfully invoked may be moved to speak or act in a non-characteristic way, acting as the deity or spirit, and they may lose all or some self-awareness while doing so. A communication might also be given via imagery, a religious vision. They may also be led to recite a text in a manner of the deity, in which case the invocation is more akin to ritual drama. The Wiccan charge of the goddess is an example of such a pre-established recitation. The ecstatic possessory form of invocation may be compared to a lower possession, as in voodoo tradition, where devotees are described as being ridden or mounted by the deity or spirit. In 1995, a National Geographic journalist, Carol Beckworth, described events she had witnessed during a voodoo possession. A woman splashed sand in her eyes. A man cut his belly with shards of glass, but did not bleed. Another swallowed fire. Nearby, a believer, perhaps a yam farmer or fisherman, heated hand-wrought knives in crackling flames. Then another man brought one of the knives to his tongue. We cringed at the sight and were dumbfounded when, after several repetitions, his tongue had not even turned red. Possessive invocation also has been described in certain Norse rites, where Odin is invoked to ride workers of Sidir, Norse shamanism, which, like the god, rides his eight-legged horse, Splendipnir. Indeed, forms of possessive invocation appear throughout the world in most mystical and ecstatic traditions, wherever devotees seek to touch upon the essence of the deity or the spirit. In our next edition, we will be visiting with invocation again, and we will talk about conjuration, which is the act to call upon a spirit. Want to know more about Invocation? Visit daymuse.com and you'll find interesting information on various aspects of Invocation as well as others about paranormal, preternatural, and the occult. They also offer workshops and trainings on performing invocation spells, and you can also subscribe to their free e-zine. It provides tips on ritual magic and historical tidbits about the occult, religion, spiritualism, and the paranormal realms. Remember, Day in Daymuse is spelled D-A-E. If you have any questions you'd like to ask me and would like answered about moon magic or spellcasting, please drop me a line at contact_us@creativeiRadio.com, and that's creative, the letter I, radio.com. So until next time, keep magic in your hearts, breathe deep and exhale your stress back into the universe, and pray for guidance and enlightenment. I'm the Reverend Alain de Virajon, and I shall return soon.
Thank you for joining us on this edition of Creative Inspiration Radio with Alain de Virajon. For more information on paranormal, parapsychology, or preternatural phenomenon, visit us on the web at www.daymuse.com. That's DAEMUSE.com, and take part in one of our informative workshops. Also follow us on Twitter and Facebook at Creative iRadio. Until next time, pleasant thoughts and abundance.